Welcome everyone, and we're so happy to have you all with us today. So under the high patronage of His Highness Sheikh Ahmed Al Maktoum, my chairman, Sir Anthony Ritossa, is very pleased to present you with our Ritossa Family Office virtual keynote panel number 4. And today's theme is going to be all about real estate, thinking outside the box in this investment environment or climate that we're in. And with this, I would just like to do a quick little introduction, hello, let's say, to our dear friend, Mr. Mohamed Al-Ali, who is the CEO and advisor to Sheikh Ahmed Al Maktoum International Investments Enterprise UAE. And of course, we're very glad to have with us Mallorca Properties. And of course, we're very, very happy to have with us our Grand Ambassador for the Monaco Conference, that is no other than His Royal Highness, Prince Michel of Yougoslavia. So, and with this, I'm going to hand over to Hussein Saeed, who's CFA, who is our moderator and also chairman and summit chairman for Dubai and Master of Ceremonies. Hussein is also the CNBC Arabia anchor and chief market strategist at FXTM in Dubai. So Hussein, the panel is all yours.
Thank you, Vanessa, and to all the panelists joining us today for this exciting discussion. Our panel today will be focused on the real estate investments in this current tough environment. Great. Fakhruddin?
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Sir Anthony, and thank you from Office of His Highness Sheikh Ahmed. Thank you, Vanessa. I'm very happy and proud to be in the panel. I'm chairman and founder of Mallorca Properties. We are a boutique real estate. We focus on commercial real estate. We've been in Dubai since 2002. At the same time, they open up freehold opportunities. And after closing several deals in terms of commercial, recently, we expand our market to Western Europe and UK.
I don't know, Grant, shall I skip you from the introduction? You can go ahead, Grant.
Thank you very much, and thank Anthony for having me be part of this. I was in Dubai last year with you, and really it was a pleasure working with you. We're located in Miami, Florida, 8,000 units under management, almost $2 billion, crowdfunded using Instagram and Facebook, $1/3 billion in cash in 20 months. Money is still being invested today. Our apartments are running at 7% occupied and 98.6% collected, despite all the bad news that you see in the world today. So it's a pleasure to be here. I hope to somehow add some value to the panel here, my esteemed colleagues.
Of course, I want to know, how was the cash flow affected, especially those paying rents? Do you have any stats or figures that you can provide? And also, do you view the current environment as a valuation issue or a value issue?
So, number one, our collections are almost 99%. Our occupancy is at almost 94. This is not off much from January, pre-COVID. We are suburban, typically suburban. We don't do inner city stuff. We haven't gone for the trends here. So maybe that's partly responsible for it, but we're very active on our management side. We own 8,000 in 7 states. And those numbers are across the board. So it's not a small portfolio. We're active. I'm looking at a deal from a major group for $1 billion that take down right now. And again, this is all apartment income producing, 6% first year, very, very low. Very few, there's a disparity right now between the seller and the buyer. This has been brought up a number of times. brought it up, Ronald brought it up, that the expectation from others might be, oh, I get a huge discount. We're not looking for a huge discount here. We're looking for great properties in great locations that we're going to keep for 10 years. So the other advantage that I have here is that we are, because of crowdfunding and social media, I am able to access the retail investor today in America and outside the U.S. I'm able to access the retail investor and bypass J.P. Morgan, Goldman Sachs, and the big banks. So this has never been done before in this country, where I can go straight to the public, raise money from them, year term, not a 3 or 4 or 5 year term. Literally have the discretion to extend 10 years if I choose to. Literally, it's a 20-year fund if I want it to be. And I don't have Oregon or a institution telling me how to run my property, which is a massive advantage. So again, we look for very large properties. We're going to sell to institutions, by the way. I'm targeting properties that I will sell to Blackstone, who has $100 billion in cash right now of dry. You can't have a real estate, the real estate bottom can't fall out if I have whales swimming in the waters with a $250 billion in cash. You can't have the bottom fall out. So if it's a great location, it's cash producing, the institutions have to deliver assets that produce cash so they can. So the damage we're seeing in hotels right now, to my friends that are in the hospitality, damage here is like, it is severe. The retail is severe. But you see, the institutions, they own in all those spots. They're so big that there's so much money that they're going to be in 5 different real estate environments, meeting in 4 of them, and then sell their apartments to cover up their losses across the rest. So that's where I'm out focused on how can I purchase from some of these larger institutions, yield, because let's face it, there's a shortage of yield that's on the planet wide. You just can't find them. Netflix doesn't produce cash. General Electric doesn't produce dividends. General Motors, Ford Motor Company, major can't even. So anything that, in our mind, anything that produces yield to the consumer, to the investor is going to become more and more desirable, and I believe will actually compress cap rates. As treasuries continue to drop to 0, cap rates will continue to compress, and it produces a yield, a dependable yield, a cash flow, like you asked, Hassan, will be a desirable asset.
Thanks, Grant, for sharing. Of course, yield has become scarce. Let us ask the commercial expert as well, Fakhreddin here. Grant, he spoke about the Amazon effect, and Hamid brought also the commercial space with the Zoom effect, probably. So how are you looking at commercial real estate now, and what could be done? If you can just share your thoughts on this.
I was saying that we boarding hospital, which is a real estate, then they take us home, which is the real estate, and then send us to the school and university and college, which is real estate. And then we travel, we stay in a hotel, and we go to the shopping malls, and then get retired and spend. So there is no single day in real life without real estate. I agree with Grant and Hamid regarding industrials, that due to positive income shows in Amazon, there are a lot of funds that they are having acquisition of logistics leased by Amazon, because it's a secure tenant and long lease. Regarding commercial, if we go to hospitality, some of the assets they are spending their capex on refurbishment and changing the furniture and get ready to come back when the situation is over. And some of them are in talk to change the usage and conversion to co-living. That might make more sense if you're supposed to go to suburban area and you need to just come back for some meetings to the city. You might prefer to go and use such facilities. I have a question here from the audience and saying that do you think demand from people may be looking to use co-living space inside the city as a residential solution now that their second home has become their first home? It's very much possible. Like if we're supposed to work remotely, we can go and stay in our holiday home, enjoy the weather, and whenever is needed, we come back to the city. In terms of healthcare, commercial assets, the demand is still high, and what will be left is, I think I said about all.
Thank you, Fahad. Yeah, we'll get back to you to get into more details as well. And I can see that we have different perspective in some regions. Do you think that the geographic location matters at this stage? Does it make difference between being in the US or the UAE, for example?
It definitely matters. I can give you an example like in West, in US, more residential properties are in debt. For those who might lose their job, they will lose their home and they need to look for renting properties. Even staying home might increase the divorce, and that also causing new problems. This is a fact. For that reason, in US, we will see a demand increase for residential properties to rent. In Europe, they have a chance of drive down to South Europe and stay in their summer into Spain and Italy and France. I was saying in Europe, it's a different way in hospitality assets because you can drive down to South Europe, to South Spain, South France, South Italy. It doesn't need to wait for airports to be open. And it's a norm for Europeans to come down to the south in the summer and spend their time there. So when we talk about properties, it's better if we be more niche and be more specific about the asset class. Some of them are general, like if there is any asset class of Amazon long lease in any location worldwide, we have a demand to purchase it. And I might agree also that now our challenge is not the investor. Our challenge is a good asset to do the acquisition. We are having huge demand for assets that are long lease, strong tenant, and income generating. And as Grant said, it's unlimited. Whatever asset is available in the market and meet this requirement, there is existing investors that are waiting for that. Not only the real estate is not going to be easily go down, as Nicola said, it's possibility of conversion. I don't know if there is any other investment that you can convert it to something else and it's going to benefit you. I find real estate more like energy. It can change from one to another without dying. So if hotel is not working, let's go to co-living. If co-living is not in demand, you go co-working. And nowadays, I think after this pandemic, people will prefer to live in a multi-use community, that they have everything within community, that if they are in lockdown, they don't need to go out. They can do their purchases from the retailers and they can go for the office next door. That is what I can say.
Normal. thank you to all the panelists who joined us today. It was really interesting conversation that we had, and I truly believe we had so many thoughts outside of the box as well. So thank you very much for all this information that you have shared. And again, thank you, Anthony, Prince Michel, also for being with us, and Vanessa, you can just do the close-up. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for all the panelists. Again, thank you, Hussein, a wonderful moderator and chairman to our conferences. Sir Anthony, my chairman, thank you so much for putting all of this together. Prince Michel, our Grand Ambassador for the Monaco Conference coming up end of July 20th to the 30th. Prince Michel, thank you for everything. And of course, thank you so much to Mohamed Al-Ali for providing us the high patronage of his sheikh. Gentlemen and lady, dear Nicola, thank you so much, and thank you.